Private servers on Final Fantasy XI have been around for probably longer than I even realized it. I think they've been around for 7 or 8 years. Lately, it seems like private servers have been getting quite a bit of attention. Maybe that's just my perception and my view of it. But I thought I've had a lot of experience on private servers over the years. I've probably played on 5 or 6 different ones. Thought now's the time to do it. Let's do a top 5 private servers for Final Fantasy XI. Let's go. Number 5. This one admittedly may be a little bit of nostalgia on my part because it's the first private server that I was introduced to, and it's the first one that I played on, and I spent a couple years there. Ended up getting all jobs to 75, all crafts to 100. Got to experience a lot of the content. Getting phone calls while doing a video, that's great. But really, in my mind, number 5 belongs to Supernova. Supernova's been around a long time. They had a lot of bugs and lags and issues when they first started. But I spent a lot of time on that server and I had no complaints because it was a great community. It's a 75 cap server, but it has a lot of the quality of life things like home point warps, outpost warps. They have a fully stocked auction house where everything is 2 gil. Not fully stocked. Things like Leaping Lizzie boots, Emperor's Hairpin, Kraken clubs, those things aren't stocked. You actually have to go out and get those. But everything else is stocked at 2 gil. And they also have a system to where when you craft items, it gets duplicated onto the auction house. That way the auction house continues to have a supply. The idea being that it's almost like a retirement community for those Final Fantasy XI players that just don't have the time for the grind. A great server for that. I would recommend it. Had a lot of fun there. Deserves number 5 in my book. Number 4 is actually a newer server that's out, and it's actually a server I've played on the past couple weeks here, and it's called Omega. If you're on Twitch checking out Final Fantasy XI streams, you've probably seen Omega streamers. It's only been out for a few months. It's a 75 cap server as well, and it has a lot of quality of life adjustments to it also. It has home point warps, outpost warps that are unlocked upon your first login, but there is no auction house that's stocked, so you actually have to go out and farm and make your own equipment. The unique experience that Omega offers right now, in my opinion, is that it is such a new server with no real economy. It's in the works. That you got to build it, so it offers that opportunity for you to be on a new server, build an economy, build a community. And so far, my experience, everybody on that server has been super nice, very kind, great community to start off with. I think they're building. I think you're going to see some growth out of that server. I like what they're doing. And again, it's kind of one of those that caters a little bit towards the casual player that doesn't have that time for the grind. Gives you those fast travel options. So again, a recommended server in my book, deserves number 4. For number 3, we're going to go to a 99 cap server. It's a server that I did play on for a short time. I didn't get too involved in the community or play a lot on it, but it's called Realms of Jova. The 99 cap server, it's got a lot of quality of life adjustments to it too, but it also has a lot of custom content. They have a lot of different things custom made, like for example, they have a Rune Fencer and Geomancer, but they are not like the retail versions. They are their own custom iterations of those jobs. They have increased XP rates, increased crafting rates, increased heal up rates. They did at one point allow a lot of dual boxing. From my experience when I was on the server, there was a lot of multi-boxing going on. It's been a few years since I've been on that server. No, maybe not a few. Maybe just a couple. I don't remember. Been a while since I've been on that server, probably at least 2 years. So I'm sure some things have changed, maybe some rules have changed. You go to their website, it's a very thorough website. I actually just went there recently just to check up and see how things were going over there. And they've got such a thorough, in-depth website. You can check the auction house off their website. It's an amazing website. Check out Realms of Jova if you're looking for something 99. Has a lot of quality life adjustments to fit a casual, more playstyle. But there's some hardcore elements if you want to get into it. And like I said, they have a lot of custom content. It even looks like they have some server-wide events that go on from time to time. So definitely a server worth checking out. Okay, number 2. This is where we're going to get in the nitty-gritty. This is where people are probably going to hate me or like me. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. These are my opinions. This is my top 5, so I get to say it how I want to. So number 2 for me is a server actually I've never played on. But it's probably the private server that's been around among the longest and probably one of the higher population ones, and that's called Nozomi. If you've been in the private server game for any length of time, you've probably run across Nozomi as a server. It is a 75 cap. I'm trying to bring back that classic retail era feel. There are some custom additions into that game in terms of how to get some of the gear through what people have told me, the OWNMs. I believe that's what it was. Different ways to get some of the gear that may not otherwise be available. And talking to various different people and watching different streams, it looks like a very active server, a very active community, active in endgame. I would imagine probably pretty active in the leveling process, as it's got a pretty high population of somewhere around 1,000 plus from what I've been told and what I hear. It's been around a long time. It definitely deserves a number 2 spot in my book. But here we'll spend more time comparing a little bit from my knowledge base, but we'll go to number 1. Number 1 in my book actually right now is a server that's currently down as of the time of this filming, but it's Eden. Eden is a server that has been out for over a year now. It was originally Kupo and it merged into Eden. It's a 75 cap server again. A lot of the private servers are 75 cap, with Jova being 99 cap. There's others that are, I believe, 99 cap as well. But a lot of my playtime and experience and research has gone into 75 caps. And Eden, in my experience, is the best server out there that recreates that classic feel to it. The kickers for me, about a year ago, I started looking into getting back into playing Final Fantasy XI on a private server in that 75 cap era. Originally was going to go to Nozomi. However, after doing some research and looking into it and learning about Eden, this newer server that was out, I thought it might be good to go to a newer server. Plus, a couple things that really caught my eye was their fishing system, which looks very in-depth, and actually they've made some changes and updates to it. You can check out a video on my channel about their fishing update. It's probably the most in-depth, retail accurate fishing system you're going to find on a retail server, bar none. Another kicker for a lot of people, me included, was that they have a dev team. They've got a team of people working on coding, fixing bugs, releasing content. They've got a plan in terms of releasing future content. A whole group of people working on this stuff. It's amazing the volunteer and the time and the man hours put into this server. From my experience in playing on different private servers, I would always run into different issues or bugs, and people would always say, oh, that's just an issue with the Darkstar project servers. That's the server that that's the project rather, that a lot of these private servers are based off of. And a lot of people would always have that comment, oh, it's just an issue on the DSP servers, never get fixed, nothing you'll ever see addressed, so just have to deal with it and live with it. But on Eden, I've seen all those things seem to get fixed. They seem to iron those bugs out, and then all of a sudden they're not an issue anymore. Now I know lately they've kind of had some issues with some server downtime and their own problems, but with the newer server, within just over a year old, I kind of expect to see those things on a private server with people doing the work for free. But for my money, which is, I guess, free on a private server, Eden is the best private server out there right now. It seems to be the one that has the most promise moving forward, the most growth, with a team of people developing all the new content and fixing all the bugs. I just see nothing but good things. When that server comes up online, I think it's going to continue to grow just like it has been in the less than a year's time that I've been on there. It has seen pretty big growth. I've seen major changes. I think overall they're moving in the right direction, and it is a server that I would recommend above all else when it comes to private servers on Final Fantasy XI. That being said, any of the other servers that I have listed on this top 5 list, if you joined any of those, you can't go wrong. I think you'll do fine on any of those. You choose to play on them, you inject yourself into the community, you'll have fun. My recommendation is do some research on different servers if you're looking to play in one. See what they look to offer, see what your time and availability and what your goals for what you want to get out of playing this game in terms of enjoyment and fulfillment. Find the server that fits you and go for it. You're not going to go wrong. There's other servers not listed on my list, but from my experience, where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Again, your buck being free. And with that, if you have experience on a different private server not listed here that you think deserves to be in your top 5 list, or heck, you even think it deserves to be in my top 5 list, comment below, let me know about it. I'm sure you guys will let me hear about this list and which ones you think deserve to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But with that being said, get out there, have fun on Final Fantasy XI. Check out our Twitch streams Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights from 9 p.m. Central and onward. Right now we are streaming on Omega, actually, up until Eden makes its triumphant return. Then we'll be back on Eden. Other than then, we'll see you there. Have a good one. Oh, I almost forgot. Click the like and subscribe. Head on over to Twitch. Click follow over there. Thank you.